This always happens. 30 minutes from home, got a late a log cabin. Only option I have is McDonald's bathroom. In a public stall, dropping a football. So every time someone...
Hey guys, T-Lake here. I hope everyone enjoyed their Halloween and has a restful rest of the weekend. Today's focus of discussion is networking, specifically within the YouTube realm, and these skills are applicable outside, even in the workforce. It's something that's worked really well for me, where society kind of puts people into bubbles saying you need to have this requirement, you have to have this responsibility, you need to have this degree to get this job. A lot of things that I've learned is it's really all about who you know. And that's, of course, a very cliche thing to say. And for people that hear that, it's like, oh yeah, of course, like I need to know someone. And it's dismissive because no one really goes into detail. So I'm going to help you guys figure out some positive ways to interact with other people in a way to kind of tap into their network. So the reason I've been thinking about this a lot is because right now, with the sneaker event I've been planning, I've been figuring out how to get into, not circles so to speak, but get to know the people that not only I can help from the event, but that they can help me make the event really successful. And the same could be said for a guy that's just starting on YouTube that wants to tap into sort of the YouTube sneaker community that's well established. And I realized for myself, someone that, you know, you guys might think like confident, like nothing goes wrong, like it's a scary thing trying to ask or tap into these people that are older than you, have more experience, you've never really interacted with. And I want to give you guys some tips as to how to network appropriately. And the first thing I can say right off the bat is, at the very least, get engaged with them on social media. Figure out who it is that you want to get to know and just engage with them on social media. There's a lot of people that aren't very responsive in terms of answering questions or whatnot, or getting back to things that you might comment on their posts and whatnot, but it's getting your name out there enough. You know, people still look at their notifications. Hell, even Trinidad James looks at his interactions. DJ Clark Kent, he's gotten back to me on some stuff. It's just the name familiarity, so when you do meet them in person, be like, you have something to talk about right off the get-go. Something really interesting about humans, and something that's a general observation that applies, is that when you have a conversation with another person about something that they're familiar with, for instance, if there's someone to walk up to me and talk intelligently about sneakers, I automatically perceive them to be intelligent, and more intelligent than they actually are, if that makes sense. So when you're engaging with someone with something that they're interested in, they find you more interesting. So this is key to kind of, it's almost cyber stalking, you might look at it that way, but getting to know that person, getting to think about some things that you might want to ask them, so when you do end up engaging with them in person, you can have a conversation based about their past life. People love to talk about themselves, and it's an easy way to have a positive interaction with them. I think another cool thing that's important is kind of micro networking, so getting to know people in a local area and branching out that way. For me, I remember I walked into Johnny Cupcakes and just was very friendly, and lo and behold, Johnny was actually at the store. I got talking to him, kept that conversation going, saw him a couple more times. Hey, you remember me? Yeah. And got him to come to my school, and just bridged that connection from something very small. So you can't be afraid of saying hello. The worst they can say is ignore you, but there's very few people that are pretentious enough to ignore someone that's genuinely interested in what they're doing. Going back to what I said, figuring out what that person does, that would, deny you from that. For instance, I get people that inbox me all the time, and I take the time to get back to all of you guys because I understand what it's like being in a position wanting to learn more stuff. And if someone's genuinely interested or genuinely has a good question, I try to take the time to help them. And I think this is the attitude for a lot of people, especially on YouTube. Things you want to avoid are being a fanboy, so to speak. At the end of the day, some of the comments that disturb me a little bit is, I'm a person, I'm sitting in a dorm room, I have nothing on any of you guys. You guys could be doing what I'm doing, literally. I'm not smarter than any of you, I don't have more money than any of you, I'm just a normal person. So when I get engaged with people that kind of are like idolizing me, it's a little bit uncomfortable for me, and it doesn't make me want to help you. It kind of makes me want to avoid you. And that's not to say you can't look up to someone or have them as a role model, because there's people that I engage with that I'm kind of very humbled being in their presence by. But you don't want to turn that into being kind of a fanboy and being so overwhelmed with the person that it contradicts everything you're working for, which is trying to network with that person, because they're not going to want to work with someone that doesn't have ideas for themselves and is just too caught up on what they're doing, if that makes sense. So try to remove yourself and get into a frame of mind where you're working with that person, you're trying to get to know that person, to branch out of your network, not to just tell them how great they are, because that's not what people want to hear, and for most people that's uncomfortable for them. So another thing you can do on top of the engaging on social media, getting to know what they do as a person so that you can have an intelligent conversation and avoiding being a fanboy, definitely kind of comes down to just overall how you choose to engage. Try to figure out a way that you as a person, some skills, some person that you know, can help them do something, even if it's just with an idea. And this is where I think Twitter is very powerful. There's a lot of people that have, the first couple of jobs I got were from Twitter. Just literally, I'll like blast brands with stuff. Be like, Jordan brand wants to send me out something like that, you know what I mean? They don't send me shit, by the way. But I've done that with other companies, and we've actually had a conversation. I'll be like, hey, I really like your product coming out, Zane Robe. Is there any way I could get some sort of coupon off so I can get a pair into review because I don't have money for it? And a lot of times they'll be like, yeah, sure. So it's all about how you package what you can bring to them. That's really the key about networking, is it can't be a one-sided conversation. Once you touch base, once you've done that, figure out what you can offer them to continue that conversation and keep it going and make them see you or perceive you to be someone that's valuable to them. And that's really all you can do, and you can do it on a very, very micro level. It's not rocket science. I really hope this video helps and encourages a lot of you guys. I know I have a lot of my sub base that is getting ready to go off to college. Same sort of networking aspect when you go there. Figure out which one of your friends' dads graduated from that school. Who do they know there? It's a very innocent, very simple plan, but the power of networking is so important. I can't stress that enough, and it will open so many doors for you and help you accomplish some extraordinary things. If you guys have questions, just drop them down below. If you enjoyed this discussion, please hit that like button for me. It goes a long way. T Blake signing out. Peace, guys.